Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, Brains and Beauty. I'm a PhD student studying brains and also a beauty lover. And on my channel, I focus on kind of like creative, conscious consumerism. So today's video is actually more of a follow-up. So in 2021, in January, I posted a video basically as an intro to my Banished box of makeup. And basically this box is full of products that majority of which are from like the first 2 years of me getting into makeup and building my collection, and so I made a lot of mistakes. So you can see in my introduction to this, I go through every single product, I do swatches, I talk about my feelings about them and why they ended up in this box and how I even acquired them. So kind of like a third of them were ones that friends passed on to me, so they decluttered onto me or gave to me as a gift. And then the other third were from when I was truly like, I knew nothing about makeup and I was making really naive decisions because I just trusted that companies would just put out good products. I couldn't like fathom that people would actually put something on the market that was bad. I know, it's silly. But yeah, so I made a lot of bad decisions in the beginning. And then the other third are kind of just like, they're not necessarily bad products, but I just wasn't sure. I just needed to give myself some more time to actually play with these products. So that's kind of what this year was for. So previously I actually did have some products in this box that I had rescued out of it just by playing more with them and realizing that they actually are really good products. I just needed to not give up so fast. You know, when I first bought them, I may have thought they would do something, but then they disappointed me, so then I would just like throw them in the box. But then playing with them more and really getting to know the products made me love them. So I did talk about the products that were like that in the introduction, the ones that had already been rescued. And I kind of wanted to dedicate this year to just like fully playing with all of these and really figuring out which are going to need to be, decluttered and which can I keep and which do I like. So that was the goal of this year, and so we will go through the box right now. I'm going to be doing this kind of like quickly because I want to kind of just like rip it off like a band-aid, you know what I mean? Like I don't find joy in decluttering. I do like watching some declutters, just because you get to learn about the products, what people are talking about it, and it's kind of nice to just feel that cleansing feeling of, trash being gone. But I just feel bad, that this is the box of stuff that has to be thrown out, a lot of it, because if something was good, it would already be part of my collection. It wouldn't be in this box. And I don't even feel happy about passing on things that I don't think are good because I'm like, why would I give my friends or family something that I don't think is the best? I would much rather give them like something from my actual collection that is the best in my opinion, and then because I don't want to give them something that's not the best. So I also struggled with decluttering in that sense. But I think there are a couple products that I'm going to be decluttering today, two friends that actually would be better for them than for me. It doesn't mean that they're bad products, just in my collection they don't work. So let's just get into it. I do want to talk about some successes first. So this is probably the biggest success. So this is the e.l.f. highlighter, and I put it in my 21 in 2021 project pan. And as you can see, I did hit pan on it. This highlighter is, like, I have fallen in love with this. Definitely not something that needs to be, decluttered or trashed or anything like that. This is so beautiful. If I have any kind of, patchiness of any kind of product on my cheeks, I like buff this over and it gives just the softest glow and blends everything out perfectly. I can build it up by like really going in, like if I just scrape a tiny little bit of powder and I just tap it onto my cheeks, kind of like a loose powder form, it turns into a beaming highlighter. So it can do both, is what I've learned over using this, and I've loved using this on my inner corner for like a super natural, like no makeup, but just this on my inner corner is stunning. So like I have thoroughly enjoyed this. If I ever run out of this, I'm repurchasing it. Like this is the one product I think I can say I have fallen so deeply in love with. So yeah, this was good. I'm gonna keep this product. This is another product that I put in my 21 in 2021 project pan, and I don't love this product. I have figured out that basically if you use it, like I use it more than 100 times. You can see in the finale, I use it a lot in 2021, and I've used it on my cheeks, I've used it on my lips. I wouldn't repurchase this, and I wouldn't like purchase another shade in this line because the formula is a bit weird. It's not uncomfortable on the lips, it's just that it's not sticky, but it sticks to itself, so I don't actually like it on the center of my lips, and I always have to pair it with something else. So it's not like my favorite liquid lipstick formula, but I'm just like dedicated to panning this at this point. I just really want to use it up, and it's not so bad. Like I can still enjoy using it if I pair it with other lip products, and I figured out ways to mix it with other things to make it a nice liquid blush. So yeah, overall I'm just like enjoying using this up, so it won't be trashed. I'm still actually working on it because I rolled it into my Partners in Cream for 2022. So yeah, still working on this, but yeah, it's not going to be thrown out, and I'm enjoying it enough to use it up, so I'm pretty happy with that. Next thing I want to keep is this highlighter. So I really went back and forth about this, because it's definitely not for my skin tone, this gold highlighter, but it brings me so much joy whenever I open this and I see this, just like this beautiful gold sparkly powder. There's just something that brings me so much happiness about this powder, and this was something that was given to me from my friend. So those other two products I purchased, this one was given to me from my friend, and yeah, I just really like the gold powder, but I needed to figure out a way to use it. And so this year I have really used it. You can see like the scraping marks. I've really enjoyed mixing it into other eyeshadows. I have a whole series on my channel called Make It or Buy It. And when I was making the Natasha Nona gold palette, like I mix shades to create the shades that would dupe the gold palette from using eyeshadows in my collection. And I had actually mixed this highlighter into another gold eyeshadow to make it like really similar to the eyeshadow in the Natasha Nona gold palette, and that actually worked out really well. So I've been loving using this like this. I've also used it to add some gold like nail detailing to my nails. So I do use eyeshadows on my nails, and I have previously added like gold detailing using this highlighter. So I've been making good use out of it. I don't use it as a highlighter, but I use it in so many other ways that I know I'm like giving it the love it deserves. I'm using it up. I'm not just letting it go to waste in my collection, so I will keep this in my collection. This is one that my friend decluttered onto me, and honestly, it's gonna have to go. I really battled with this one because the texture of this is phenomenal. Like, I have never felt something so incredible in my life. Like, I know that's like really that's really saying something, but I don't own any other ColourPop. I'm in Canada, so like it's a bit harder to get your hands on, and I just kind of, I don't know, like the thing is with this highlighter, it's just that the texture literally feels like satin. Like if you were to grab a satin cloth, you know how it feels soft but it also feels kind of cooling? Even though it's not wet, this is how this is. This isn't like wet or creamy in a way that it's actually like it has any moisture in it. It's literally like a satin fabric. Like it's so nice. And I'll find myself like genuinely enjoying just like swirling my finger in this. Like that's how much like joy I get from it. So I think what this has taught me is that if I can find a color that I would use every day, I would purchase this. Like the formula is beautiful, but yeah, I can't with the color because it's a very icy pink, and so the only time I would really wear this is if I was pairing it with like a hot pink lip or like a really pink eye look. I feel like that's the only time where I would be comfortable wearing this on my cheeks, because otherwise it just clashes a little bit with my olive undertones. So yeah, it's only going to be able to be used in a very specific way. And I was initially thinking that I could argue that this would be nice just as an eyeshadow, like an icy pink eyeshadow, and that way I could keep it for that. But the reality is that I have Aura, which is a multi-chrome from Cliona, and it has a hot pink, and I know I'm going to reach for that whenever I want a pink eye look over this. So I just feel like this as an iridescent pink is not going to get used in my collection, and because it has that interesting formula, I don't feel comfortable actually mixing it with my regular eyeshadows in my mixing videos. So it's kind of one of those things where I can't get much use out of this, so I should pass it on to someone who will. So this is not a bad product at all, and I'm going to pass it on to a friend. I think I have one that would enjoy this, so that's one that I'm going to pass on. Okay, this is one that's going to go in the trash, and not by my choice actually. So when I first introduced this in the introduction, I thought it was metallic for some reason, and that's why I was saying I didn't like it, but even in the swatches you can see it's so glowy. So I actually really like the way this looks, but the reason why it's going to have to go in the trash is because it went bad. Like it actually started smelling within like the first 3 months-ish of the year in 2021. So that means that this didn't even last like a year in my collection, which is pretty crazy. Like I'm pretty disappointed that this went bad so fast when it's like a pump and everything. That was strange. But yeah, it smells so bad, so I can't use it. And it kind of turned me off from purchasing any other liquid blushes because I'm a little bit hesitant now. I don't want them to go bad that fast. Like I've had cream blushes in pots that took way longer for them to go bad, and like that's like putting your fingers in it. So it's just very confusing to me why this went bad so fast. But yeah, I'm basically going to have to throw this out, so we're putting this in the trash. Another item that I'm going to have to declutter and just throw out is this NYX setting spray. I think it's about halfway full, but the reality is I just didn't end up using it this year at all because it's definitely past its expiry date, and while I'm generally lenient with that with other products, I just feel like when it comes to setting spray and I'm inhaling that, I don't want anything irritating my lungs. So for that reason, I am going to have to pass on this one. And it's not like I have a bad setting spray problem or anything. My collection, I think I just have one setting spray in it right now, so I'm pretty good. It's just like, I think this is just one of those that I really didn't enjoy it when I first purchased it, like I said in the intro. So I just ended up throwing this in this box, and then I never used it. And by now it's like just way too expired for me to even attempt to, like, you know, revive it or try to use it. Okay, next. So this was in my project pan. So this is a MAC foundation. This was my first foundation ever, and at the time I was matching the store and everything, but I feel like the color is a bit off for me. I think that's probably why I use it a little bit less, and also because I can't use a color corrector underneath it. It'll like oxidize, but the thing is I really do like using an orange color corrector, at least underneath my eyes. So it's one of those things where like I switched over to liquid products and I enjoyed those, and then I haven't really reached for this since I bought it originally. So what I did is when I put it in my project pan, my goal was to just hit pan on it, and I did that by mixing it with one of my favorite powders, the NYX No Filter powder, and that was nice to use up. So I feel like I could actually finish panning this. I wouldn't repurchase it, but I feel like I could pan this, and I had already gotten a bit of a dent in it, so I didn't feel like I could pass it on to someone. So while I still don't feel like I enjoy this, like it's not my favorite formula or favorite thing to put as a base, I think I can use it up. So I am going to keep this and use it up in my collection. But on a similar note, I didn't like this for the exact same reasons as the MAC powder, and I just felt like I didn't actually even want to dip into this because I didn't want to make the dip any bigger. I just kind of wanted to give it away like this. So I'm going to be donating this. It's not a bad powder. I mean, so many people rave about this as their like favorite. So it's not bad. It's just for me and how I use my makeup, this kind of powder is not for me. And most of my friends, I feel like this would be too light for their skin tones, so I think I might just donate this one. Alright, so these two are eyeshadow palettes that I don't feel like I want to use on my eyes. They're just not good quality for that, but I have been enjoying using them on my nails. So I feel like these are going to move from like being eyeshadows. I won't even put them with my eyeshadow palettes, but I will put them with my like nail tools. So like it'll be kind of like colors that I use for nail art and for as like nail polishes and stuff for my press-on. So I don't mind doing that, and I feel like I wouldn't, these aren't good quality, so I wouldn't feel comfortable like giving them to anyone else, but at least this is a way that I will use them up, so I'm keeping those. So as for this blush, basically I said that maybe the reason why this isn't working is because of my brushes, but I never ended up buying a bigger fluffy brush or something to try to see if like a higher end blush would work with this higher end. That's a tongue twister. I didn't purchase a higher end blush to see, no, I didn't purchase a higher end brush to see if it would work with this higher end blush, but I just don't also think that that's like something I should have to do, and I didn't even want to make a dent in it like I did because I'd barely used already, maybe just a couple of times. And so in my mind, I'm like, this is the newest blush to my collection, you know, and I haven't used it at all. I'd rather just give it to someone. I actually wanted to sell it because this was costly. I bought it myself from Sephora, but right now with the way COVID is and stuff, I just feel like it would be a huge hassle to just figure out how to sell this online and stuff. And I just think that I'm either going to see if any of my friends would like this high-end blush, and maybe they'll make it work, because like I said, I think it's just like a application kind of thing, like you just need a different brush or you need something else. But again, I have enough blushes in my collection that I didn't even want to try to make this work. I'd just rather give it basically brand new to someone else. So either my friends will grab this or I will just donate it, and you know, someone can get this as a really special, you know, donation blush. So this is, I think it was like a birthday gift from Sephora with my other Bite lipstick, and honestly this was really nice. I feel like I'm not sure why this is in the box. Maybe I was kind of just feeling like it's a bit dark. I'm not really sure, but I actually tried this on my lips several times and I really like the look of it, and it still smells great, so I'm going to be keeping this in my collection. On the other hand, these two, it's not the same case for them. They actually smell off, and I just don't want to force myself to, you know, use them when they've gone bad. These were things that my friend had given me, and At the time, I was not into like a shiny lip at all, so these kind of lip balm colored lip balms, it was not my jam, but this year in 2021, I've loved like colored lip balms. So if these hadn't gone bad, I would have actually tried to pan them and use them up, but unfortunately, yeah, they went bad. So these are gonna go in the trash. These two from NYX, I'm actually going to keep. So I actually don't have any browns in my collection, so I think this is pretty unique. And this one, it's kind of, like, I was really turned off by how, like, bubblegum pink it is. But I mixed these two together, and oh my gosh, they created the most beautiful, like, cool tone pink shade. It was absolutely stunning. Like, if I wasn't panning the other NYX one, I would have literally started panning these this year, but, or like in 2021. So I will keep these in my collection, and at some point, I really hope I can pan them. Their texture on the lips are also like way more than the lingerie liquid lipsticks. Like, these are just so soft and like they feel like clouds on the lips. I really enjoyed these two. So I am going to keep these. This gloss from Kirkland, Costco. This was something my mom got me. She knows nothing about makeup. When I was first getting into makeup, she was like, I'm going to buy you this lip gloss set. And even at the time, I didn't even like lip gloss. So I only ended up taking this one. But the rest, I even told her at the time, like, I'm not taking those. So I thought I could get use out of this nude one. But because it's so opaque and it's such like a chalky nude kind of shade, I didn't enjoy this at all, and I still don't think it's nice. I have two really beautiful glosses in my collection, the Fenty one and the Nessa Myrix one, and like, I don't need anything else. And I thought maybe I could try panning this, but honestly, it's been so many years at this point, like, I don't even feel comfortable with this, and it does not look good, so I need to throw this one out. Alright, this orange color corrector. So it's too dark for me, that's why it was thrown into this box. The formula's good though, but yeah, it's just too dark for me, and I've realized that I can actually make it work if I mix it into the concealer that I'm like about to put on, and then that way it'll lighten it, and then I go in with the concealer on top. So because I found a way to make it work, I am going to keep it in my collection, but I'm already panning two other color correctors, so this one might take a while before I actually get to it. I think that'll be okay though. So yeah, this one's going to stay. These two, as you can see, they're quite separated in the tube. And it's been a while since I bought these, and honestly, I kind of regret getting these. I bought them because I wanted a different shade, and when I didn't find that shade in store, like in several stores actually, I was like really on the hunt for it. I ended up like satisfying what I wanted with these, and that was such a bad decision. It was a bad habit I honestly had, where I would be like, oh, I'll just purchase something else to make up for the thing that I actually want, and that was just, you never end up satisfied. So yeah, that was a bad habit, and neither of these colors were really that nice. And it's a metallic finish. Like, if I'm gonna have a metallic finish, I want it to be a red, and even that I have actually let go of because I've like the desire for a metallic red lipstick, because I have glosses and I've been enjoying them. So these I'm gonna have to throw out. I just don't feel comfortable with the way they look, and yeah, I just don't see myself using them. So unfortunately, these are gonna be thrown out. And then same with these 3 cream eyeshadow palettes. These 3 I bought, each one was like just maybe $2, $3. I found them on a sale. I thought, ooh, this was like when I was first getting into makeup. I knew absolutely nothing. I just thought that I was getting a good deal on like good makeup. I didn't understand anything. And like, I don't even like cream shadows. You know, I don't have any other cream shadows in my collection. And by now, these have probably gone bad. I thought I would try using them as a base underneath a couple eyeshadows this year, but every time I went to go do that, I just felt like, again, like they're probably so expired, and I don't want to like harm myself, you know, putting them on my eyes. So it's a lesson learned, and I just want to forgive myself a little bit. Like, whenever you start a new hobby, I feel like no matter how much you look into things, you're still so naive, and you don't want to like research for like 3 years straight before you ever try a product. Like, that's gonna kill the fun of it. So I'm just learning to forgive myself for these early purchases, and yeah, these are gonna have to go because they're likely very expired. I can't even use them for other things. Like, at least with the Revlon eyeshadow palettes, I can use the powder for my nails, but with the cream, I also don't think that would work as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna let these go. Okay, and last but not least, we have this eyeshadow palette. This is one that my friend gave me. I'm not sure if it was like she got one. I think it was because this came broken, and then she got another one like from BH, so she gave me this one. And I was really excited when I first got this. These metallics are so beautiful. Every time I swatch them, I'm like, this is stunning. I love these so much, but I have to just be real with myself, and I already have the Smashbox Ablaze palette, and that one is my main warm tone palette. So I just don't need this, you know? I don't need another warm tone palette when it's not my favorite type of undertone, and so I would much rather give this to someone else, basically untouched, other than this Brooklyn shade. It's basically untouched. So I really do want to give this to someone else to really enjoy. It's a good product, but it's just not for me. So I'll see if my friend wants it back to like give it to someone else, or I'll try to find another home for it. But yeah, I feel like I'm so careful with what I bring into my collection. I think about an eyeshadow palette like a million times before I bring it in. I'm gonna do a video after this actually about I did no buy year in 2019, a beauty budget in 2020, and a low buy in 2021. And basically, I'm just super careful about my purchases. So I feel like I would let these kind of products into my collection from just like other people when I wasn't thinking much about, you know, what my desires are for how big my collection will get. But now that that's like something I'm really conscious of, I don't want to just keep a palette just to have it in my collection, you know? So I'm going to be passing this one on. So basically, these four I will find new homes for. These are going to enter my collection, and then these are going to be thrown out. And while I reorganize, I'm going to put these into my collection. And I also have some other products that came in from the holiday sales that I want to kind of organize and, you know, put in together as well. So I hope you enjoyed this decluttering part of it. Let's get to the organizing. I actually will keep this at my desk because I'm panning it right now. I have a little container on my desk of things that I use every single time I do my makeup, just so it's easier, you know, to just be at my desk. And I also have my Partners in Cream project pan items. So I will show you a little bit of that, and then we'll jump right into organizing my collection. Okay, I hope the audio isn't too bad right now. I just want to make a couple of comments about what I plan to do. And then I'm just gonna put some like music on, and then you guys can watch me like in fast play do everything. But we'll just walk through my collection quickly. So up here, I kind of have like the rose gold section. So I have all of these beautiful kind of like foiled products. I have my Becca mini highlighters in these swans. It's just a really pretty kind of aesthetic. And then here I have kind of more my greens and purples. So I have my magnetic palettes, I have my Huda palettes. I have all my brushes in here so that they don't collect dust. So this is in my glass cabinet. And then I have all my lipsticks, bullet lipsticks here on the side. And then below that is like nail polish stuff. And then below that there's a couple of palettes there. And also the Moxie Lash box there. So I'm thinking of putting in a shelf here. So I might add some stuff into there at some point. But I think these two are going to stay the same. So that's that for that area. I'll see what I'll put on the next shelf depending on how I organize the rest of my collection over here. So these are the new products I got, so I don't know yet how I'm going to put them in. I have two powders here in this kind of display box, and I feel like I really I'm ready to just like take these out and put them somewhere else. I just really love these two powders, the ABH highlighter in Amrezy and this Hourglass highlighter, and I felt like the luxuriousness of this, you know, justified them both being in this box, but like they take up so much space and nothing else can fit in here, so I don't feel like this is a good place for these two. So I'm going to take them out and figure out where I'm going to put them. I have my sample single eyeshadows in this palette over here, and I have my Cliona single eyeshadows here. I like leaving them both here because I'm always grabbing for them and taking them to my desk. So like, I think this is a good position for them. I also got this gorgeous mirror recently, and so I like just kind of putting it in the center. I don't use this comb, but you know, it just matches, so I keep it here. In this area over here, I have this box. This box is kind of like miscellaneous things. Like I have some eyeliners in there, I have a primer in there, but like, yeah, it's just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So I kind of want to, like, I feel like it's okay to have those, but maybe not on display. Like I think maybe this should go into like a drawer or something. So we'll see what happens to this box. And then I have a little compartment here in this music box that I put my 4 glitter liners in. And then I actually found recently, I found this in another room. I thought I had thrown this out, but basically this had broke. It was like a birthday gift from Sephora, and it was a beautiful like neutral pink blush, but it broke. and I thought I'd thrown it out, but and I always like regretted that because I like now I know how to like press things, and so I was sad I didn't press it, but now I found it and I have pressed it. So this needs to go also in my collection. Yeah, and then this is the box that we just said of things that I need to put into my collection. So these are joining my collection. So I have all of this stuff. I feel like it's not too disorganized, but what's really bad is like my drawer. So let's take a look. So this is basically my drawer. This is the box of makeup. The rest of it is kind of other stuff. So over here is a bunch, this is really disorganized. All this is like my nail stuff, and like I put some of the lashes in here too, and then I have some sample stuff here. But yeah, it's all kind of falling up like on top of each other. And then this is my mini eyeshadow box right here. And then I also have my like highlighters, my bronzers. Oh, actually this is, okay, I didn't mention this, but I'm gonna now tell you there is 2 products that I'm planning to declutter from my actual collection that weren't in the box. So I'm planning to declutter this bronzer and also this contour elf palette. They're both great products, but I have just come to terms with the fact that I never contour and I never bronze. And I asked my friend who does do that like every time she does her makeup, and she said she'd love to have these. So I'm going to give those to her. They're great products. They're just not for me. The only time I ever do contour is on my mom, and that's like once or twice a year. So I'd rather just use a cool toned eyeshadow for those moments rather than keeping all of this. So this is actually going to join the declutter box. So let me just go put that over there. Alright, so now the rest of these I do have to organize. Like this is all nail stuff, that is skincare stuff, that's hair care stuff, that's nail tools, and then a bit of lashes. I'm thinking I just want to keep this drawer for tools. I don't know, it's just like I kind of am starting to feel like I shouldn't have any makeup in this drawer, but maybe instead. So I have my pans in here and sponges, just like more tools. This is nail stickers. Ooh. So I'm thinking maybe I can, because this basket is smaller than this basket, so maybe I can rearrange all my makeup products into this one, and this one is easier to like take out and put in. So I feel like I could easily take out this basket and put it on the dresser if I wanted to some days or something like that. Yeah, okay, I'm thinking that's how I'm going to reorganize it. So let me do that first. I'm going to take everything out from here, and then I'm going to put in all my palettes in here, and let's see if that works. Okay, I really love what I did. So basically in this box, I have a bunch of my like single face products. So I have the Aviation, the Hourglass, I have these two blushes, and I have my third NARS blush and the Tarte blush. I was able to squeeze that in. So that's in this like little display box. And then this I'm keeping as it is. I really love what I did here. Like I feel like this really opened up how much space I have now here. Like it just looks so beautiful, and just like everything is bouncing off of like the chrome and everything. I really love how this turned out. So I'm really happy with this one, and even like I have another room for like another layer of like single pots. So I think I already have figured out a home for my pigments that I plan to purchase. So that's great. And then I have these three products that I left out. I think I'm going to make a third shelf in the display cabinet, and then I'm going to put basically all the liners that I create from this palette and this palette on that shelf. I'm going to put these two on another shelf in my display cabinet. As for this, it really, like I was struggling to fit this in, so let me show you how the drawer is looking. So I was able to actually put in all of my palettes. Like they fit perfectly snugly. I can take this out easily, so I really like that. The only palette that didn't fit was that e.l.f. palette, so everything here is palettes. So I have my blush palette, I have the Silent Nights, and then all of my other mini palettes, and then this like quad that I have. And then the only thing that's not a palette is the MAC face powder. I have it over here. And then in the middle, I kind of put the things that I always reach for that are not like makeup per se. So I have this like the pestle and mortar for mixing eyeshadows. I have my nails, the different sizes that I always use. I have a setting spray. I have the concealer that is a backup. So I have that stuff here. And then here, this is much better organized for me. I have all my lashes on this side. I have the false lash glue here. And over here is where I put all the miscellaneous kind of items that were in that box. And then I have some of my nail gem items that I always reach for. And then everything back there is kind of still a mess, but it's like, I never am reaching for those backup sponges. I have my TKB Trading pressing medium, but I also don't often reach for that. I have all these backup pans for the sample mini eyeshadows. So these are just things that I like never reach for anyway, so it's nice to have them at the back. When I open the drawer, I basically am able to easily access the stuff that I need, and then also my palettes, and I can take this out pretty easily as well and just rest it here because I'm planning to do shop my stashes, so I do want to be able to do that. The only thing that didn't fit was this e.l.f. palette, and I have been thinking for a while that I really want to pan this e.l.f. palette, so I think I'm going to move this to my desk and then with those products, and then just work on panning it. It won't be part of like an official project or anything, it's just something I kind of want to work on panning. So I'm going to move that there, and then as I said, these two will get their own shelf. This shelf didn't change at all, so it just is as it is. And then here I added the NYX liquid lipsticks and the Bite Beauty lipstick. So not much changed here either, but you know, I feel like I'd rather not have these here. They kind of like cut the like even level of the bullet lipsticks, but it's like totally fine. I'll probably end up panning them at some point anyways. But yeah, this is how my display cabinet is looking like, and this is how everything on my makeup dresser is looking like. And then my box over here, and my drawer stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think we're going to end the video right here. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the declutter and the reorganization. But yeah, I'm pretty in love with my collection right now, and I can't wait to do more shop my stashes. If you like that kind of content, please do subscribe so you can see it. And if you like this video, please do give it a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.